What's up everybody and welcome to another video where today I'm showing you one of my best recipes of 2024. So this whole year I was experimenting with pre-ferments, Poolish, Biga, even hybrids and then sourdough. And honestly I have to say that this recipe is the best of 2024. We're starting out this year with my Poolish and Biga 100% pre-ferment pizza dough. You need a micro scale. So this scale is going to weigh the yeast down to the point decimal place. And this is super important. So almost all of my recipes, I do use active dry yeast. And honestly, using yeast at very low increments results in a well-fermented pizza dough. So now let's get into making the best recipe of 2024. So here, I'm doing a blend of 3 different flours. Caputo Nuvola Super, Petra 5063, and the OG Pizzeria Caputo flour. This flour blending technique I actually got from Anthony Mangieri, #1 best pizza in the world. Anyways, as I said, you need to use a micro scale because we're weighing the yeast down to the point decimal place. And so, separately, I'm starting out with the Biga, weighing out every ingredient and mixing until it's nice and shaggy. And then for the Poolish, the same thing, but you want to mix it a little bit more until it looks like a thick pancake batter. After having mixed these two pre-ferments, you're going to let them rise at room temperature for 7 hours, and then you're going to pop them into the fridge overnight for 10 to 12 hours. Now this here gains all of the flavor for your dough, and you don't have to mix anything else but salt. I've heard someone say that mixing Poolish and Biga is kind of nonsense, and I do not agree. Poolish yields a nice, fluffy, and tender dough with a sweet flavor, whereas a Biga yields a higher risen crust, chewier texture, and almost acidic aromas. And what I do is I bring both of these pre-ferments together to make the best of both worlds in one ultimate dough recipe. So I mix this dough for around 8 minutes on high speed to reach a temperature of 75 degrees Fahrenheit. For the full recipe and method, please wait till the end of the video where I'm going to give you everything. So please do me a huge favor guys, smash the like button, make sure you subscribe and share with friends because I'm creating these amazing pizza dough recipes for you guys to use. Alright, now that this beautiful dough is mixed, I'm going to let this dough rest at room temperature for 1 hour before balling. So it's 1 hour later, I gather my supplies, containers, and we're ready to divide the dough. This whole recipe will yield 3 dough balls weighing around 276 grams each. And pay close attention on how I round these dough balls out, it's super important. Now, one of my biggest secrets I often tell you guys is that when you shape your dough, it's better to let it rest. So right here, I gave it a pre-shape. I'm gonna let it rest another 10 minutes. And then I'm gonna go back to very tightly shape these dough balls. And that this way, the bottom part of the dough isn't stressed and doesn't have a hard time to seal. And instead, with time, it's gonna be relaxed and able to stay in that tight knot. You'll see what I mean in 10 minutes. You would be surprised on how much your dough relaxes just after 10 minutes. So right here I'm giving it that final shape. This will ensure that the bottom knot of the dough is completely sealed shut. Now sealing this knot will ensure that your dough does not have any holes after you stretch it when you bake your pizza. And if you're wondering, I use these pint deli containers lined with a little bit of olive oil, and what I do is I give it a shake so that the bottom of the ball is coated with oil, close it up, and it's ready to ferment. Okay, now same day, you can use your dough. You just need to wait until it doubles in size. It's going to probably take 2 hours at room temperature. However, I ferment my dough depending on my schedule. Tomorrow, I don't have the possibility to make pizza, but the next day I do. So if I bake this dough in 2 days, not tomorrow, but the next day, I'm gonna place this dough directly in the fridge immediately. I wanna stop the fermentation process as soon as possible and let it go slowly in the fridge. Let's say you wanna use the dough tomorrow. What I would do is let this dough ferment at 30 minutes, room temperature, and then place it in the fridge. However, if I'm gonna use it in 48 hours plus, it goes right in the fridge right now.